So I thought I would sort of end the presentation part of this, at least, by giving you some indications about how religious traditions might think about how human beings can be cultivated, right? So we don't just cultivate gardens, we also cultivate people. And it turns out that putting them in a garden to work is a great way to cultivate these people. But we're trying to shape human beings so that we can live more peaceably, more gently, more beautifully in the world. And so a practice that we see across many traditions is the practice of fasting. How many of you have ever fasted? Any regular fasters out there? Right? Why have so many traditions emphasize the need for fasting and make it a regular part of the life of a community? Well, I think one of the primary reasons, there are many, but one of the primary reasons is that human beings can very easily have an inordinate desire. Right? And what's an inordinate desire? Well, it's a desire that wants to consume at whatever cost, to whatever extent. And there are simply no limits. There's nothing to say, I don't think it would be a good idea for you to want to have that. And so you have the minivan, like we do, that has 27 cup holders. You can only put 7 people in it. But 27 cup holders, really? It's because if you want a drink, you got to have it now, right? Well, think about that posture that suggests that whenever we want something, we got to have it now. Right? We now live with the click of a mouse, right? Or with the tap of a smartphone. We have the world at our fingertips on demand. Is it good for us to live that way, especially when we realize that this is a totally new situation in the history of humanity? Many of us now, just by having a smartphone, have at our fingertips what kings and queens could only have dreamed of in past societies. So fasting becomes a way for people to come to terms with their own desire. And we haven't just fasted around food, but we've needed to fast because we need to be able to see how our desires can start to run amok. And when they do, they get us into all kinds of trouble.